Okay, I'm going to have you start off by introducing yourself and talking a little bit about what you've done career-wise since graduating from the Leadership Institute.
Of course. So my name is JP Mugizi. You can call me JP. I graduated from Miami Leadership Institute around 2014. I did software engineering and computer science. After that, I moved to Seattle, where I was part of the IT Career Foundation program at Boeing. Spent a few years there, and then ended up in the federal government working on a program that started with President Obama around getting more newer technology into the federal government. So it's kind of a field called civic tech, where they get a few people from the private sector into the federal government as part of the program. The one I was part of was 18F. There's US Digital Service is doing the same thing, the Defense Digital Service. So I spent a few years there working on what we call login.gov, which is single sign-on authentication system for all of the federal services. So if you've used the Trusted Traveler program to get a TSA pre or global entry, you probably have to create an account with login.gov, and I was part of that project. And then I spent some time at Capital One working as a software engineer. And then right now I'm on MailChimp, and I'm still doing kind of like the software engineering, data engineering field.
Awesome. You've done quite a lot.
I have, yeah. I've been, I've done quite a lot.
Did you have any big obstacles when going from college to work, or whenever you switched the jobs? Did you have any big learning curves?
Oh yeah, there was some big learning curves for sure. Some of them were more personal, some of them were more professional. I think for me, when I was at Boeing, I got to a point where I definitely felt like I needed to do something that had a more of a social impact. Boeing is great, it's a great company. They build airplanes, of course, but I think switching gears into the federal government kind of showed me how technology can be used for good, and it can be used in ways that help a lot of people, especially vulnerable populations. So that's something that I wanted to get in, and I think being part of the federal government program allowed me to have that social impact. I'd say the one thing that is probably common among a lot of people who are early in their career is that once you leave college and then you go to professional career, there is all the theories, all the kind of like the theory of like how you can build programs, how you can code, but the professional side, so like all of it you have to learn through the job. So you have to learn how to navigate or big organizations. You have to learn how to navigate projects that have a lot of unknowns. You have to navigate how you are going to build your career, because the good thing about college is that everything is a script, right? You have a syllabus for every class. You have kind of like a blueprint of how everything is going to go. But once you start your career, it's up to you to build that on yourself, right?
Right.
And sometimes you don't know what you don't know. So you have, I had to kind of navigate how to think about my career, what I want to do, and kind of build a plan, but be more flexible about that plan as well.
Gotcha. Was there any point in your career, in any role that you've been in, where you've experienced unexpected changes? And if so, how did you deal with it?
Yeah, definitely. I think at one of the places that I've been, I definitely had to navigate how to be. I joined a team that had a different culture, and I felt that I was not being included or respected in what I was doing. I felt that there was a lot of like hurdles into trying to kind of like what I'm doing is being accepted, or just being trusted as part of the team. And definitely Professor Mormon was very helpful. we had a long conversation on the phone about, navigating conversation with my manager and my teammates.
Yeah.
And, that definitely took a toll, and it was kind of an unexpected obstacle, because I felt like once, I had a lot of expectations, a lot of good expectation about like that particular company that I joined, and then it ended up not being what I thought it was.
Yeah.
So it kind of took me off guard. It's like, how do I navigate this, right? And I the good thing about me is like I'm in a field that was doing pretty well. Technology, computer sciences, has been doing pretty well. So I was able to navigate that through talking to Professor Mormon, being part of a program that I can probably talk about a little bit. That it's called Dev Color. So it's a program for early career Black software engineers, where we talk about career in general, right? Like, so we have like these things called squads, where we meet once a month, and then you talk about like what you're navigating at work. And
Gotcha.
and through that, I was able to get connection to another company where I was able to go, and then things started going better at that point. So I think just navigating your career as as somebody who's just got out of college is one thing, and navigating your career as either underrepresented minority, or as a woman, or as some type of like other obstacle like that is person that might be in your way, was interesting as well.
Awesome. Were there any topics or lessons that you had in the Leadership Institute that you carried into your professional life, and things that maybe you go back and reference often?
Yeah, definitely. I think the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People is the book probably read once a year.
Yeah.
Just skim through it and being able to get some of those points in terms of like thinking about those topics every year. Another thing that was crucial for me was navigating conflicts, like navigating, speaking, like having crucial conversations was one of the things that was beneficial that I got from the Leadership Institute. So being able to navigate those difficult conversations or difficult times in your career. I'd say those are like the main 2 things, but I think just being part of the Leadership Institute made me think about my career as more than just engineering, which is where kind of how I ended up in the federal government.
Gotcha.
So, having that personal statement and being able to think about the personal statement and applying that to my career was very helpful as well.
Awesome. Good to hear.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for agreeing to be interviewed for our Embracing Change Summit.